always been hearing that IIT Delhi has been infamous for, along with other IITs, it's been infamous for violating reservations, both in faculty as well as PhD admissions. Um, One can say that what has changed in the last few years is more opposition among the student community, more awareness among the student community that this violation is happening, and the student community and student groups have been highlighting these sort of violations that have happened. And due to students' pressure and due to the pressure that has been created in the media by these RTIs, we do have an SC/ST cell, and we have an Office of Inclusion and Diversity (ODI) in the last 2 years. It's been more than a year now, and these cells have recently come up in order to rectify this. So it has been noticed that there is some sort of a casteism, there is a caste bias because of which these violations are happening, and in response to this, the administration has set up an SC/ST cell and an overall body called the ODI. Why are these violations continuously happening? So yes, there is a bias, and we think that the SC/ST cell and the ODI are not doing enough. So one can see that there are around 24 to 25 departments where there is no SC/ST student who's been given admission, and there are around 14 departments, if I'm not wrong, where no SC student has been, no SC PhD student has been given admission. And if you see one department, if I just take one example of one department, that's the mathematics department, where there is neither an ST student nor an SC PhD student who's been given admission. So then the question arises that if all of this is out there in the open, if we have an SC/ST cell or the ODI which is there to rectify, then how is it that we see that these departments are still under some impunity? IITs still seem to have a lot of impunity despite this data, despite this news. How is it that the campus remains unshaken, that the administration in a way remains unshaken, and whenever we've tried to address these problems, they have always in a way told us there is due process, these things take time.
So APPSC has been working, or like it has been functioning in IIT campus since 2015. And one of the things we knew, like everyone in the campus knew, that there is not enough SC/ST OBC PhD candidates. And whenever we directly asked the institute to have a monitoring on whether reservation is being implemented, the institute kept on ignoring. So it was collectively decided that we will actually get that data through an RTI. This was decided in 2019, and I think at the end of 2019, the RTI was actually filed. Like, it was not a small data, and IIT gave the data. So only during the lockdown, when like everyone was actually back in their homes and we didn't have anything else, we actually started analyzing the data. And by August 2020, we had comprehensively analyzed the data, and the data was very illuminating. The sense, like, it clearly showed like what we believed was true. So this was one of the first concrete proof that IITs were lying about their admission. There was bias in the admission. We actually tried to communicate with the institute, asking for an appointment with the deputy director to discuss this and take measures to counter this. But the institute kept ignoring it. We had filed, used this data to file complaints against the IITs with the National Commission. Why is the PhD admission so skewed? Like, there has to be a reason for it. And the main reason why the PhD admission has a caste bias is because there is no diversity in the faculty. They don't implement the faculty recruitment, the reservation in the faculty recruitment completely. And the data shows that the diversity is much worse in faculty than in students. At least, even though 50% should be from SC, ST, OBC, around 20% is actually admitted. But when you look at the faculties, it's like more than 95% are from general. Only less than 5% SC, ST, OBCs are there. In many IITs, there is not even an ST faculty.
The RTI filed by APPSC IIT Bombay has revealed some shocking data regarding the PhD admissions at IIT Delhi. It was disheartening to see the number of PhD candidates coming from a marginalized background. I myself come from a marginalized background and I can understand the struggle each candidate has to go through to reach till here. Each institute should fix the number of PhD seats in each cycle and they should reveal it upfront so that the reservation can be applied to it. But now there's open policy where the number of seats are not disclosed and pool of candidates apply. So as the number of seats are not fixed, so they can give excuse of null matrix or something like that, where as the number of seats were not fixed, so we can't apply the reservation. I feel like during the interview the panel should also try to understand the historical wrongdoing happened with this section of the society, and they should try to understand where the person is coming from and his historical background. They should be little empathetic towards the candidate.
IIT Bombay currently has almost, I think, more than 600 faculties from the general category. And if you add all the SC, ST, OBCs, I think it's around 30 or 40. So that is the difference right now. And if we follow the 50% rule, like 50% should be from general, 50% should be from SC, ST, OBC, then there is like more than like what 500 vacant seats that needs to be filled. One of the most important thing that was shown from our data, especially from IIT Bombay, was from the 5 years from 2015 to 2020, like there were 11 departments in IIT Bombay which did not like admit a single ST candidate. So like this is like, how can they be allowed to do that? IIT doesn't care, the government doesn't care, the commission doesn't care, the judiciary doesn't care. Like, so how do we hold these institutes accountable? So the only way we see it is through exposing them in the social media, in public, so that they will be questioned. In 2021, if you remember, another incident happened. The issue of Seema Singh, a faculty from IIT Kharagpur, openly like threatening and abusing SC/ST students on record. Like government ordered all the IITs, IIMs, triple ITs, basically all the central government institutions to implement a mission mode recruitment, which is the trying to fill the backlog vacancies of SC/ST OBC faculty. So we knew the moment the government declared it that IITs are never going to implement it. So we wanted to put them in the under scrutiny. So the moment the mission recruitment process started in 2021, we started continuously filing RTIs about the number of people who are applying, number of candidates who are being called for the interviews, how many vacancies were opened. And what we noticed was, even though there are hundreds of seats vacant in each IITs for SC, ST, OBC faculty, IITs are only opening like very few seats to be filled by the MMR.